Good morning, everyone. It is 7 a.m., 10/21/2021. Uh, so today, welcome to the Spokane podcast, the Spokane Experience. Your host, Cameron Vesey, where we dive into the propaganda of the Spokesman Review on a daily basis to start the day off, amongst other things. So, we open the Spokesman Review. This is the front page. I don't really care about basketball. Just briefly, former Washington State football coach follow the university and unjust after his efforts to avoid vaccination failed. His efforts to avoid vaccination. The way they word it makes it sound like if you don't want to be vaccinated from COVID, for whatever reasons you may have, to avoid it. Oh, you're trying to avoid vaccination. You're a bad person. No. It's like, I'm trying to avoid an abortion. She tried to avoid abortion, but you know what? Whatever. Okay, that's probably not the greatest. But what I find interesting. Spokane is in for more than an inch of rainfall in the next couple days. A series of storms. Oh, shit. I know my voice is sexy, except for I have a cold. That's kind of gross. All right. Tasty. Oh, there's some breakfast for you. A series of storms is expected to bring more than an inch of rainfall Friday to Tuesday in drought-stricken Spokane. That's a lie. Fuck, you can find it right here, right now. It's a lie. I'm sorry. I've got this on the wrong side. Oh. So, this was what I was reading. I'm sorry. Ooh. A series of storms is expected to bring more than an inch of rainfall today in drought-stricken Spokane. This is how easy it is to expose their lies. I went to Google. Days, 107, 2020, 15.4. Days, 107, 15.5. 2018, 16. Day 123, 22.4. All right. What do you think the average rainfall per year is for the last 100 years? It's 17 fucking inches. All right. Average rainfall. Spokane, Washington. What is the average? They won't tell you. They don't want you to know. What the fuck? Spokane, Washington, weather history. Maybe they're trying to alter the past information. I've done this before. That's why I know. Weather history. All right. Summary. Historic averages. Are you seeing that? Oh, God damn, I put this my own way. Yeah, you are. Okay. Daily average temperature, 46. Highs, lows. High temperature, 47. Low temperature, 46. Historical averages. Oh! Well, we're a little not as extreme. I don't know. Dew point, wind, sea level, astronomy. Why would it be so hard to find Spokane's precipitation average? Okay, so let's try this. Average annual precipitation, Spokane, Washington.
Here's a summary from Visit Spokane. Spokane gets an average of 17 inches per year.
17 inches per year. That's Spokane's historical average. All right? It's not 22.5. That's an extremely wet year. All right? But if you come over here to the Spokane News, they want you to believe we're suffering from drought. Because at day 107, we've got 15.5 inches with November, December, with 2 months to go. And they are the majority. They are major. We're not in fucking drought. More than an inch of rainfall Friday. By Friday. All right? We just saw right here 107 2020 fuck, it doesn't say 2021. So fuck around. So I don't know if I get that number. 16 and 15 inches of rain by this time a year is not a drought. That is probably on average what we always get by this time every year. You notice they stopped here. Seven more rows. Let's see what the 7 more rows go. Where'd the fucking rows go? Yeah, fucking cocksuckers. See, I wanted to view the 7 more rows. It won't show me 7 more rows. Annual temperatures. Temperature. Oh, here we go. Yeah. See, that 22.4 is an anomaly. All right? 19, 15, 11, 15. Now, 11. That might have been a little shy in 2013. 7 years ago. But all these numbers here, 15, 15, 16, 14, 15, 15, 5. Those are not droughts. Those are right in line with our average precipitation. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. So, I'm trying to get specific. Okay, so, as of last month, we are about 5 inches below normal precipitation. That is a little extreme. So, I was surprised. But that was in September, not as of October. I'm trying, look, 1 month is not climate change. 1 month is weather. 1 month is not a drought, all right? A drought is over time. They're changing the meanings, but look at this, though. This is what I don't understand. So I'm trying to find you people accurate information that appropriately applied gives a realistic understanding of the current situation. So I come to this map. I see these colors. Yellow, abnormally dry. 100% Spokane County. Okay. Moderate drought. 100% Spokane County. Severe drought. 100% Spokane County. Wheat and corn are stunted. Harvest is early. Producers feed cows earlier. So it's just harder to find. Number of wildfires increased. Grasses are brown. It wasn't that bad of a fire season this year, people. Tourism is reduced. Recreation is altered. We didn't have any of that. Extreme drought. No unprecedented wildfires occurred this year. Oh my God. Okay, so But this is what really kills me. This diagram says Spokane County is brown. Brown is exceptional drought. This is what it says. Let's see here if I can't get. Ooh. Brown. Brown. It says we're in an exceptional drought. But then it says Washington has experienced little or no exceptional drought, so there are no D4 level drought impacts recorded in the drought impact reporter. I don't understand how that fucking. Okay, so crop and hop yields are poor. Okay, so Spokane crop yields 2021. July. $10.17. Here we go. Crop progress report 10/17. Late season planting throughout Washington. Let's read what the professionals say. There were fuck around. There were 6.9 days of suitable for field work, up from 6.5 the previous week. Statewide temperatures for the week ending of October 17th were below normal. In San Juan County, there were cooler temperatures with some rainfall throughout the area. Low pressure systems stacked up leading into the fall rainy season. Livestock was on stockpiled feed. Harvest of CSA vegetable production continued, but was coming to an end. In Yakima County, there were cooler temperatures throughout the area. Some crop producing areas received frost for the first time this year. However, some late season planting was done while dodging the rain. Apple harvest was near completion with late maturing varieties coming in. More field corn was harvested throughout the area. All right. Winter wheat planted. 93% this week. 86% of the 5-year average. So, we are at about a 60% 5-year average on winter wheat emerged. I don't know what that fucking means. I'm kind of new to this. So, winter wheat planted. We got 93% down. We harvested 60%. That's a year though. Down for the 5-year average. All right. Alfalfa hay fourth cutting, 80% this week, 70% last week, 85%. So we're on almost everything. We're right around normal. Winter wheat emerged. I don't know what that means. I'm going to look it up because I'm trying to bring you the actual facts. Winter wheat emerged. What does winter wheat emerged mean? Are strains of wheat that are planted in the autumn. Wheat, just like the physiology state, one second. Ha! You didn't hear me sneeze or nothing. Winter wheat can withstand freezing temperatures for extended periods of time during the early vegetative stage and where it requires exposure to freezing or near freezing temperature to trigger reproductive stage. In other words, if winter wheat does not go through a period of cold temperature, then it will not produce seed. Okay, so I'm still too dumb to comment intelligently on these numbers, except for the fact that last year we got 64%, and right now we're at about 60% on the 5-year average. So we have a dip in winter wheat. But alfalfa seems to be growing strong, with a little bit of a dip. Don't get me wrong. All right. I'm not sure. Extreme, severe, moderate, severe, D3. So I'm thinking D4 is supposed to be substantially worse than D0. Moderate, severe, extreme. Extreme sounds worse. Exceptional, I don't know. Are poor. We're not feeding cows early. Silage is not harder to find. We just read that. It said we got stockpiles. These scientific peoples, their shit's not lining up. We can't be in D4 exceptional drought, which this fucking color says we are, while we have plenty of feed for our stock and we're over 60% of our feed. Yeah, it's not the greatest year, but look. 23rd wettest September was in 2021. Over the past 127 years. Third driest year to date. Third driest. Not the first driest. Not the second driest. Third driest year to date. Yeah, like I said, back in September, we're only like 4 inches off normal. That's like having sex with me 1.5 times. Now, the thing about it is, this is weather, right? 1 year is weather. We have different types of weather during the year because you have tsunamis, you have El Niños, you have Lisa next door. When that bitch is going, she's going. There's all sorts of reasons why records are broke or not broke and numbers are different, all right? These are not indicators of climate. They're indicators of weather. And as I've shown you, the past few years, 17 inches of precipitation every year. 22 was a wet. 4 years ago was a really wet year. There is not consistent. They're always switching it up. They're always saying different problem. You can't keep it all straight because they're always going to use something else. They can't keep their story straight. All right. Back to the regularly scheduled rant. Of 17 inches a year. That's what we've always gotten for the last 100 fucking years. Oh my God, Becky. It's just, these lies are so easy to prove to be lies. So, let's cause some discomfort. a drought. I don't know how. So let's go. Let's go. Spokesman review. Let's go over here too. Let's go. Definition of a drought. We are not suffering a drought this year. Right. Oh, I'm still recording. Yeah, sorry, I could go in a direction. I'm fucking with the spokesman review. So, if you tweet, so I just tweeted out, what is the official? A drought is a period of time when an area or region experiences below normal precipitation. The lack of adequate precipitation, either rain or snow, can cause reduced soil moisture or groundwater, diminished stream flow, crop damage, and a general water shortage. To my knowledge, we haven't had a reduced soil moisture or groundwater that has affected any crops this year in the region. Diminished stream flow, haven't heard of that. I haven't seen the river below normal levels. And I'm born and raised here. I know when it's below normal levels. I've seen it before. This is not it, people. And crop damage and general water shortages. I'm doing fine. Propaganda and fake news. All right. If I wasn't such a lazy fuck, I would edit all that shit out. So hopefully you don't see that. Hopefully you don't see this. But you're probably going to. All right. And matter of fact, so that's just what I wanted to hit on. I'm going to try to make these more concise. Unless I have a live show going or questions going. I just saw that. I wanted to hit that up there. I need some guests. I need to figure out how to get guests on because I'm not sure this format of me ranting is going to earn me any money. All right, so we've got another climate thing here. Off-season flooding in Venice worsens amid climate change. So I read this article. It only has one fact that can really be that isn't a stupid prediction, right? Because they're always predicting. The only thing in here that I can actually go and see if they're lying about is this right here. In the last 2 decades, there have been nearly as many that were in the dungeons in Venice over 3 feet 7 inches. The official level of higher water provoked by tides, winds, and lunar cycles, as during the previous 100 years. So they're saying there's been nearly as many. So 163 in 20 years versus 166 according to city data. All right. So what I like to do when we get to here, right, is I like to go to my first Tony Heller Venice floods. Oh, they won't even let me get Tony Heller. All right, so many Greenlanders skeptical about climate change. Yeah. False alarm on climate hysteria. Yep. Biggest lies about climate change. Right. 13 myths about global warming. Who knows what that is? All right, so let's see if we can't find. I'll just go to Tony Heller's YouTube page. We've already done a little something on Maldives to drown again. Pandemic code. let's see. Plan C, 8 years since Greenpeace canceled. Well, he usually has something good about current affairs. I bet you has something about it today. Okay. So, Saving Venice. 3 years ago. Let's just randomly, I don't know, I haven't seen this before. See what it says.
I'm sitting in Lisa Ackerman's office in the World Monuments Fund in New York City, but we're here to talk about the city of Venice.
World Monuments Fund was founded by a man named Colonel James Gray. 1 year after the organization was founded, the floods of 1966 happened, and because he was living in the Veneto region, he just fell in with a group of people who became concerned about the fate of Venice in the wake of these terrible floods. And Venice has been of concern to WMF for its entire 52-year history.
And it has done so much.
It was the first time in the media age we saw a worldwide calamity.
And one that had affected a cultural treasure that is universally understood to express the ruins of the late Gothic, of the Renaissance.
Venice was already a great tourism city in the 19th century. And I think in those post-war years of growing international tourism, Venice was one of those beacons. So it really tugged at people's heartstrings to see the kind of devastation in Venice, and also the very dramatic photos of St. Mark's Square looking practically like a lake. And so it really set whole new standards for dealing with conservation efforts in the wake of disaster.
And these are environmental concerns that have not ebbed, where the threat remains. And so we have a number of different phenomena that are exacerbating the situation. We have a subsidence of land. Venice itself has sunk about 10 inches. And at the same time,
that's an important thing to remember. Okay. It's so much to keep track of. So, in the Spokesman Review, where the Venice Aussies and flooding Venice worsens. So, I've figured it out. I have found the lie. In the last 2 decades, there have been nearly as many, whatever that fucking word is, inundations. I wonder if this will work. Google, say, please. No. Say. There we go.
Have coached hundreds of high-level businessmen, and the one pattern that sticks out is that we all believe that we are.
Fuck, I hate commercials.
Inundations.
Inundations. We've learned a new word today, folks. Inundations. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Drugs. Inundations. God, I can't believe I couldn't say that word. In Venice, over 3 feet 7 inches. All right. Why do you... Okay, so the official level for aqua alta, high water. 3 feet 7, provoked by tides, winds, and lunar cycles. Now, if Venice, has sunk an inch in the last 20 years, then suddenly you could graph out in statistics that number pretty easily, because everything else was kind of below that because Venice was higher. But since it sank, 3 feet 7 inches is actually 3 feet 6 inches. And there's probably, I'm telling you, people, there's a reason this is the only data I can actually go and try to fucking track down and verify, right? Because it might be true what they're leaving out. It's what they don't tell you about the information that's always important. The fact that Venice is sinking has nothing to do with climate change. But it makes a good story. Fucking liars. God, they're lying to you guys so much. All right? And look, why you don't know? Because you have a job. You have a life. You have kids. You have family. You have friends. I have none of that. So I have time to do these things. Only losers like me know the truth. No, I don't. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get busy. I'm going to get a life again. And suddenly I'm going to be as dumb as everybody else. You wonder why I hate being dumb. Anyways, let's move on. We're here already. I was trying to read the paper first and then kind of point out some things, but I get going. You know? Bannon case will test Congress power. So, here's the skinny on the Bannon subpoena, all right? Bannon was an advisor to a president. There's something called a president's, the president's advisors, whether it's Obama's, Trump's, Biden's dead body, Biden's corpse, gets privilege. One of those privileges as president is his advisors are not subject to subpoenas by the other three branches, or other two branches, I'm sorry. That's called executive privilege, all right? Bannon was granted that privilege by Trump when Trump was president, because they want to question him about things that Bannon was involved in while an advisor to Trump. They can't subpoena him. He can go, but he has the privilege not to, which he's invoked. That's a right of every advisor. That's a right of Trump's, Clinton's, Obama's, Bush's. Call it whatever you want. But those are the facts. This is going away. This is a witch hunt. This is trying to divert you from the rising fucking prices of everything, the dollar failing, China invading, fucking the border crossing going, and vaccinations not working. All right. FBI items linked to launder. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a tragic story. Fuck that dude. Fuck that cop for not understanding when a girl's in trouble. I don't know. Fuck. I watched the video. She sounded like she was covering for her old man, like somebody who is a mental slave from an abusive person. I've seen dudes do it. I've seen women do it. When they start making excuses, oh yeah, I made him mad, and he was upset because I was fucking, it was my fault. That is the mentality of somebody who's been victimized and are scared to go against their predatorial enslaver, or whatever you want to call it. It happens. It's sick. It's wrong. It happens more often and in different degrees than anybody likes to admit, right? We've all gone over to that friend's house and went, oh, fuck. She's got him or he's got her, and it goes both ways. It's a fucking sad story. And that cop, look, you know I don't like cops. It's weird because I'm not Ozzy, our sheriff. You know, I'm like, hey, I'll buy that motherfucker a fucking coffee right the fuck now. No vax, and our guns are ours. He will fucking handcuff you and throw you down the fucking stairs, even if you're in a wheelchair. I know that. It's not fun. But I could get over that. All right? Because I'm a patriot criminal. And, I'll buy that. Look, I'll buy that man a coffee right now. Or a brew, or whatever his choice. That's on the record. But cops in general are stupid. All right? So they will not hire a cop off the streets with an IQ over 105. The only way you get smart cops are usually ex-military because they've already got the weapons control. They've got proven metal, whatever. That's a problem too because the only smart cops are ex-military. The reason they don't want cops with an IQ of over 105 is because people with an IQ over 105 start to ask questions, start to make their own decisions. Start questioning the status quo. They don't want cops with that. They want cops to go, okay, yes, sir, all right. They want Forrest Gumps. Russians to stay home from work for 1 week as virus deaths rise. Well, Russia, I don't know. It's hard to say what's going on behind communist lines. I'm not really up to date on that, so you have to look at the demographics of populations. This virus kills old people. If your country or demographics area like Arizona should be scared, has a lot of retirees and people, it's going to affect them more, regardless of what you do. More severely than other places. Half the reason China made this was to kill off its own older population because the older populations are a drain on the economy. All right, it's not mean. It's not. They're retired. They've put their work in, hard work, and we civilized people like to take care of our elderly and keep them alive. And they've used that propaganda against us. That communists, not so much. All right. Let's see here. Reports say health problems tied to global warming on the rise. Global warming is a fucking lie. Were we in a solar maximum for the last 12 years? Yes. But we're out of that now. We're in what's called a solar minimum. And so global temperatures are actually decreasing. They don't want you to know that, so they're hiding the information, but there's evidence out there. I don't want to get into it right now, but let's see if we can't see the stupidity in the title, if we can't do our own Sherlock Holmesing. All right. According to two reports, well, fuck me, two reports published Wednesday. The medical journal Lancet. So the Lancet, which used to be one of the most renowned journals, it's like 100 years old, 100, is sold out. I'm just saying that. Tracked 44 global health indicators connected to climate change. Infectious diseases? How is infectious diseases related to climate change or global warming? Hunger is increased. Hunger? All of them are getting grimmer. said Lancet Countdown Project Research Director Mariana Romanello. Okay, so okay, this is fucking insanity. First of all, there's a reason he's going from 1986 to 2005. There's a reason it's not the average, it's a specific average, but let's not get into that. You motherfuckers are insane. You're worried about 1 minute you're saying people are dying from heat because of global warming. So you want to increase the price of energy with the cap and trade. It's not going to reduce emissions, you dumb motherfuckers. It's simply going to make people pay more for what they have. And so the rich stay warm and the poor fucking die of heat stroke. Because it's too expensive. That's not because of global warming. That's because you've priced poor old people out of their fucking heat during the winter. This is how it gets convoluted. 1 minute they're about, oh, look at the weather. It's a drought. It is not a drought. I already proved that earlier. The next minute they want to say, oh, look at all these floods in Venice. There are more floods above 3 feet 7 inches than ever. Well, that's because Venice is sinking, motherfucker. The dipstick, the fucking measurement stick dipped with it, motherfucker. These are lies. And then now they're switching it up. They're saying, oh my God, look at all the deaths caused by global warming. Hunger? I'm sorry, we're producing more food and more people fed. I'll prove that in a second. If they're dying from heat stroke, it's because you people are making blackouts because you're shutting down coal plants. You're shutting down the fucking oil pipeline. First thing Biden did was shut down the fucking oil production. Now he's begging OPEC to increase their fucking production, even though he cut our production off. Which is increasing the fucking price of oil, which means poor old people are dying in the fucking wintertime. Your fucking philosophy is fucking broke. You can't be concerned about all these things and be concerned about them. You're not concerned about them. It's about our team winning. Our team's good. Your team's fucking evil. Fucking evil. Fuck, it's right fucking there. But you motherfuckers aren't going to take the time to read and say, hey, question everything, right, motherfuckers? Question everything. Oh, no. You question Trump, Russia. But Biden, oh, well, he's just kind of old. Fuck. You don't give a fuck about vulnerable populations. God damn, see, I gotta quit. Fucking fools. Fucking global fucking warming. Oh my God. Whew. Fuck around. Yeah. Let's get local. Let's try to get to the local news before I fucking have an aneurysm. What do you say? Walking, what the fuck? That's advertisement. The Bad Seed opens in a historic Hilliard Library. All right. The Bad Seed? The Bad Seed. Okay, I guess. I mean, hey. Hilliard Bad Seed, I guess. You know? Alright, let's get... yeah, y'all know I've been fucking telling you about Tesla for fucking almost a year now. Fuck, you people don't know. You fucking don't know. That's bad. Trying to slow down? Oh, that's fucking bad. Hey, go back. Fucker. Give me back that fucking... Where'd my fucking thing go? Fucker! Ooh. Alright. Sports, yeah. Fuck baseball. Fuck NFL, man. You fuckers. Oh, well. There's one for nature. Sorry, man. Discovery of bow hunters' remains gives sun closures. Well, you know, he won. I'm sure he won a lot, but when you lose in nature, you lose for good. Ocean to Idaho, Anacortes to Post Falls. Yeah, that'd be a nice ride. Nice drive too. If you take number Highway 2, Highway 5. Bicycle outdoor Lake public access reopens. Boise area angler smashes Idaho fishing record for 46 pound. I guess the fish are feeding well, right? Yeah, that moon the other night was pretty fucking badass. Yeah, I did see it. Catch and keep steelhead season begins Friday on the Clearwater River in Idaho. How the fuck are they getting to Idaho? That's what I thought. All the fucking dams are. God, them fucking salmon have to fucking work hard to get there. I am a salmon, Native American. I don't know about breaching dams. I do believe we live in a complicated biosphere. The effects of losing the salmon, which is a pretty rare fucking line of fish, and the native culture entwined. If I was Governor Washington, first of all, what the fuck do they call them? Oh, it's the things that goes under the roads, right? Jay Sleazy has done shit to improve let's see if I can't find some on that. That's interesting. I don't like this YouTube because this is my premium channel here, my premium YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Governor Cul-de-sacs, Governor Inslee, Washington State. Cul-de-sacs. No, they're not cul-de-sacs. Let's just go salmon. Washington State salmon runs. We have a permanent fucking emergency. No, we don't. What was that 3 months ago? No, we don't. See, he wants it to be a permanent emergency so that all these mandates don't fall the fuck apart. I've been into it with some people about it. Alright, so fuck. Goddamn Jay fucking Sleazy. So let's just go Washington. I didn't spell that right, did I? Salmon runs. Oh yeah. All happy faces. Happy white faces, right? Ooh, look at those boobs. Boobs! Let's see. Okay, fuck. What are the artificial waterways that go into roads called? No. Water under roads. God damn it. Waterways under roads for fish. Culverts. What did I say? I said, I can't think of what I said. Drugs, more drugs. Keyhole, that is, cul-de-sacs. I said cul-de-sacs. Culverts. All right. Woo! It's hard to get to places with me sometimes. All right, so Mr. J. Sleazy talks about being an environmentalist. Salmon, natives, me, big friend, how? Oh, we'll get shit for that. Culverts, Oregon versus Washington. Culverts. Did I get it right? All right. This is my dude here. This is my dude.
Some pretty serious. Thank you for watching. My name is Glenn Morgan, and this is We the Govern. Today we're going to be talking about fish culverts, taxes, and corruption, and how all these things fit together in one story.
This guy does such a better podcast than me, but he's not Spokane orientated.
Okay, we are going to look at Washington State, and specifically the Washington State Legislature and political leadership here. And the topic of the day is going to be about fish culverts, taxes, and corruption. It sounds like a strange combination of topics, but it'll make sense as we move forward. The other way I thought about describing today's presentation is just going to be about why solving problems is never going to be big government's goal. And it'll become apparent as we move forward here. So this really came out of an article I wrote on April Fool's Day, actually, earlier this month. And it was initially just focused on why we should use April Fool's Day, as the optimal day to celebrate government in all its wonder and glory. But as I went into it, I decided to describe just a situation in Washington, uniquely Washington situation, that really illustrates why government is run by fools. And it starts really with the salmon. Salmon is an iconic part of Washington State heritage, history, and symbolism for the entire Pacific Northwest. And this really it involves salmon, and it also involves culverts. In order for salmon, which migrate upstream to lay their eggs, and any school child that goes to school in Washington State understands the entire life cycle of the Washington State salmon. In fact, they probably know that better than they know math and English. But part of this is when salmon have to go upstream, they oftentimes have to go and bypass roads, whether that be forest roads or freeways or anything else. And in order for them to do that, they have to go underneath those roads. Generally, they're going to go through culverts. And a lot of the culverts in Washington State have been subpar or not adequate enough to allow for adequate fish passage. The salmon couldn't get up. And so there have been some fights over the last 40 or 50 years in regards to optimal fish habitat and when you're building roads. And the idea is that when you're building a new road, now you want better fish habitat to allow for more water flow. And something like this photo is actually from Oregon, but more of what they call a box culvert, so that the salmon can go upstream or downstream pretty easily. And it actually helps for flood control. And there's some other benefits as well. However, there's also a major lawsuit that has been in the works, slow winding its way through multiple cases through federal court. And it really started significantly. It came out really out of the Bolt decision from the 70s, which I don't really have time to get into here. But ultimately, and more recently, there was a 2007 case where all 21 tribes in Washington State, in conjunction with the federal government, sued Washington State, and Washington State lost this lawsuit, saying that it was the state government's responsibility to replace these culverts, the older culverts that existed, not just as a matter of course, but they had to go back and actively take them all out and replace them with bigger culverts. Now, Washington State sat on that judgment, did nothing. And then in 2013, after Attorney General Bob Ferguson was elected in 2012, there was a more significant lawsuit, federal lawsuit, which demanded that they have an accelerated timetable to replace these culverts and that they define this timetable. Now, Bob Ferguson lost this case. I mean, first you had the 2007 case, and then you had this 2013 case. And AG Bob Ferguson prides himself on going after his political enemies and beating up on them in court when they don't have any resources to defend themselves. However, when faced with a significant litigation like this with real attorneys, he tends to lose, which is what he did. And he continued to lose all the way up to the Supreme Court when in 2018, the federal Supreme Court ruled against Washington State and Bob Ferguson, saying that the state had to step in and replace hundreds of these culverts by 2030. So they attached a time frame to it. Now that time frame, of course, leads to some pretty serious decision making. The Supreme Court has spoken. The state is obligated to resolve this. And this involves the governor having to make a decision because ultimately he's going to have to sign off on any budget and build that budget into the planning purposes. And of course, Bob Ferguson, with his continuous losing streak in this litigation, they're going to have to find some kind of a solution, and they have to work with the legislature to do so. That means working with Andy Billig, who's out of Spokane, who's the leader in the state Senate, and Lori Jenkins, who's the Speaker of the House from Tacoma. And both houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives in Washington State, are controlled by Democrats, and they have been since this case was lost in 2013. So they're in charge of the budget, and they're able to put together a budget or some kind of way of solving this problem. But unfortunately, the cost of solving and getting this liability off the backs of the taxpayers in Washington State have been escalating. And initially, there was a big fight. The first initial estimate was that it was going to be about $1.8 billion in 2018. And that's what the Department of Transportation said that it was going to cost. But there was a big fight. Does it come out of the transportation budget or does it come out of the capital budget? Well, ultimately, the Transportation Budget Committee lost that fight. It's stuck in the Transportation Committee. That's going to be the budget that it comes out of. And it just keeps escalating. Nobody's actually wanted to try to do anything to reduce this liability or solve it, and nobody in the political leadership anyway. And so it's a couple years later, it was up to 2 point.
Okay. Probably lost my whole fucking train of fucking something or other. But what I'm trying to say to you people, these people aren't about salmon. They're not about native culture. They're not friends with the people they say they're friends with. They don't give a fuck about the salmon. All right? They don't give a fuck about the environment. They just want to do cap and trade and appear virtuous and keep growing their power. If you're paying attention there, I doubt anybody is. They're not paying me for sure. Jay Inslee, I lost my train again. Choo choo. Wants to declare a permanent emergency because permanent emergencies grant him powers that make him godlike. Why would he want to give them up? Why would he want to give them up? He can make mandates. He can do whatever he wants. But what he's not doing is helping Native Americans get culverts so we get salmon going. So, because as I was saying before, caught the train, salmon, fish, fungi, insects, it's all part of the continuum of a rich bioenvironment. Frogs, salmon, fish, lead, magnesium, all this stuff, yeah. It's so complicated. It's not even as complicated as climate change is complicated, and we still don't know the ins and outs of the biosphere, let alone the climate sphere. But these people are arrogant, and they like to claim to have knowledge, and they like to claim motivations that are just not honest. If I was governor, because I'm from Spokane, because I grew up, I didn't grow up on the res per se, but I grew up with plenty of Native friends, whether they were living in Spokane or, migrated back and forth from the res to Spokane. I've got a lot of Native friends. So I'm definitely a friend of Native Americans, especially in Washington. If I was governor, I'd be all about changing whatever Mount Tacoma is called back to being called Mount Tacoma. Let's see here. Mount Tacoma. Oh, wow. Mount Tacoma. A mountain called Tacoma. Fuck. Well, anyways, it's an issue. So back to Spokane news. Health problems, reports. Gotta start. So, like, it's not true. Hunger is not a problem. They're fucking lying to you. Steven Pinker on growing concerns of hunger. Steven Pinker on hunger.
Here are some pictures that match.
Shut up, bitch. Steven Pinker on hunger.
Put progress in your portfolio. Invest in sustainability with 3 new funds from Fidelity.
Many people face the news each morning with trepidation and dread. Every day we read of shootings, inequality, pollution, dictatorship, war, and the spread of nuclear weapons. These are some of the reasons that 2016 was called the worst year ever, until 2017 claimed that record and left many people longing for earlier decades when the world seemed safer, cleaner, and more equal. But is this a sensible way to understand the human condition in the 21st century? As Franklin Pierce Adams pointed out, nothing is more responsible for the good old days than a bad memory. You can always fool yourself into seeing a decline if you compare bleeding headlines of the present with rose-tinted images of the past. What does the trajectory of the world look like when we measure well-being over time using a constant yardstick? Let's compare the most recent data on the present with the same measures 30 years ago. Last year, Americans killed each other at a rate of 5.3 per 100,000, had 7% of their citizens in poverty, and emitted 21 million tons of particulate matter and 4 million tons of sulfur dioxide. But 30 years ago, the homicide rate was 8.5 per 100,000, poverty rate was 12%, and we emitted 35 million tons of particulate matter and 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide. What about the world as a whole? Last year, the world had 12 ongoing wars, 60 autocracies, 10% of the world population in extreme poverty, and more than 10,000 nuclear weapons. But 30 years ago, there were 23 wars, 85 autocracies, 37% of the world population in extreme poverty, and more than 60,000 nuclear weapons.
Well, I'm sure he'll go on to talk about hunger. All right. These people, these news agencies, have no interest in presenting you with valid scientific knowledge. That's my job. All right? I wish I could present it in a way that was more fluffy, more flowery, more to your appeal. But I can't because I'm me. And it takes people like me, losers, who have enough time, don't have a job, don't have a bunch of kids running around distracting them, or, dependents, responsibilities, or anything like that, to sit around and increase their brain and actually get to the truth of these matters. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose in life. After all the drinking and drugging and prostitutes, that's now my purpose in life. Maybe even to become mayor for a year or two till they throw me out, because I'm against the COVID madness. I'm against the vaccine madness. I'm against this big pharma push to make profits. And the media companies trying to stay relevant by pushing all this so you're scared. Why is my computer doing shit on its own? Pardon me. All right. That's today's Spokane Experience. I'm tuckered out. It's all about environment. If that's all they're going to talk about, then that's all I'm going to debunk. I'm telling you, these news agencies are not about truth. They're not about facts. They're not even about opinions. They're about convincing you of things that promote their profits, that promote their agendas, which are not motivated by the things they say they're motivated by. All right, everyone. Check on the ones you love. Check often. And this is the Spokane Experience. I'm out. Yeah, I'm almost out. Out? Am I out? Out? Push the button. I'm out. I'm out. Leave me alone. Me any favors or viewers? I just annoy people, you know. Unless I change it up and present a better me. I just don't know if this is going to be that big a hit. I want to have a hit. I need to support myself somehow. And so I think having engaging conversations with live guests that I hit over the head with a bat if they disagree with me would be entertaining. I think so. They'll have their own bat. It'll be fair, you know. All right.